If I didn't...
Oh, there we go.
Probably should look better.
It's okay.
You good?
I think you look great.
Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and this is episode 12, Preview Edition. I'm here with my fabulous co-hosts.
Hello, Diana.
Hi, Jackie.
So we're trying out our video feed again. We got a new little camera, so it may overtax my computer, and this will be unusable, in which case you don't get to see this. I don't know. So this is our preview edition, which means that we are going to be talking about what we'll be sharing for our topics next week. And we're doing something a little bit different. We are doing a research grab bag.
Grab bag!
So what that means is we each picked a separate article that has nothing to do with a common theme that we just wanted to read because it looked interesting.
That we all like.
So these are all from Java 2016. And the articles are Using Habit Reversal to Decrease Filled Pauses in Public Speaking by Mancuso and Miiltenberer. Graduated Guidance Delivered by Parents to Teach Yoga to Children with Developmental Delays by Gruber and Poulson. And Evaluating a Humane Alternative to the Bark Collar, Automated Differential Reinforcement of Not Barking in a Home Alone Setting by Protopopova, Kisten, and Wynne.
So just to make sure that everyone understands, it's not Macaulay Culkin Home Alone. It's just Home Alone by herself.
Like this.
There you go. That's good. It only works on video, so I'm glad we have this camera. I hope the camera works. Now, before we get into errata, I have a task for you. I actually got this idea from one of the articles we read, and it's the bark collar one. So I'm going to put these collars on. No, it's...
I love my bark collar.
You'll know which one it is very soon. So I got this idea from one of the articles, and then I was emailing with one of the other ABA podcasters of the two shows that exist. As far as I know, there's only two on ABA. Matt Scoria, he was emailing me and telling me about some emails he was getting from a listener, and I had a thought. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes. You guys have 3 minutes to prepare a 5-minute speech on the topic of what makes a great movie. You can take notes, you can do whatever you like, but you've got 3 minutes to prepare. So I'm going to set you a timer.
Something I'm not interested in at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What makes a great movie? You have 3 minutes to prepare. In the article, this is the habit reversal article. In the article, they gave more time, but they were not doctoral level BCBAs like these two. So I expect they don't need as much time. All right, ready? Steady? Go! Now, the rest of you don't have to watch them. You can watch them prepare, but we have some interesting errata, our section where we talk about mistakes we made or just fun stuff that we heard. Today, we actually have a lot of nice emails from folks at home. You can see here, different than last week, we have some very nice new equipment as well, which is kind of working. It's kind of not, but hopefully it will work fine. So thank you for all of you who've been purchasing CEs. Your money has gone to new technology so that we can hopefully make the show sound better, be a little more professional sounding. I got some very nice emails as well. Our first email was from Stasia Bemer, who was one of our members of our journal club that we used to run out in Worcester County, Mass. And she writes, "Hi Rob, I just listened to the Choice podcast. I thought this one was extremely interesting. I think for a lot of our students, we teach them to make choices about preferred activities. I always think about it in the context of expanding language and facilitating communication to increase independence. I hadn't stopped to think about the value of teaching choice in addition to expanding language. During my sessions, I always have a schedule with pre-planned activities, but it might be useful to have a more general schedule and include choice within each activity. For example, if the next activity is a story, offer choices for the student to select the story. This summer, I have a lot of new students from other schools in the district, especially middle school and preschool students. I've been working with these students to select which activity comes next, which I've found gives them more control over the session and increased engagement in the activities. Choice is interesting, though, because the decisions have to matter. For example, do I personally care what color M&M or candy I'm offered? No, but I do care what color we are choosing to paint the bathroom, of course. This is definitely a concept to continue reading about. Thanks again for a great podcast." Thank you, Stasia. Really appreciate it. Good to hear from you again as well. We do this now instead of having to go to Panera and meet up, which was fun, but had its own sets of challenges. Our next email we got from Tiffany Legg, who's an RBT. So I'm glad that our podcast appeals to a wide variety of folks. And she writes, "Hi there. I just finished listening to episode 6 with Dr. Amanda Kelly, where you briefly discussed natural ending of an activity and had a couple of questions. How exactly does natural ending work? Do you still set a timer and then prompt that at the end of the song you'll be moving on? Do you go into the activity explaining that the child gets to listen to 1 or 2 songs and then you move on? What does natural ending look like for activities such as coloring, Play-Doh, board games, etc.? Thanks so much for taking the time to do your podcast. I absolutely love it, and I am learning a lot. Thanks, Tiffany." So I wrote back to Tiffany, but I thought it was important if Tiffany had this question, perhaps other listeners did as well. What is a natural ending? So we'll see if Diana and Jackie want to interject to my description of it from my understanding of the article, but they're very busy, so maybe they won't. So when I, listening and editing and hearing Dr. Kelly speak, the natural ending really seems to just be a matter of taking the task you're working on and finding when is it appropriate to end. So she did use timers for her participants, and when the timer went off, that was the signal. Oh, just like that signal right there, that was the signal. So pencils down, everybody. That was the signal to end the activity at the next appropriate time. So the song ended or the level of the game ended. For something like coloring or board game, I think you would do something like, let's take 2 turns each and then we're done. Or coloring, let's finish this part of the picture, and that will be the natural end.
Sounds great.
Either of you
I agree.
disagree from the discussion? You did the most talking with her. I was mostly just kind of watching the feeds and everything.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, good. Next time, we have all these microphones, so next time everybody gets to participate. I'm very excited. But they'll probably break too, but oh well. And I have one more email, and then I want to hear your guys' public speaking. All right.
Great.
So this is from Tamika Meadows. And she wrote, "Hi there. I recently found your podcast by accident on iTunes while I was looking for new ABA or ABA-related podcasts to subscribe to. I keep having this problem where I find a podcast I like, and then it goes away." And then there's a frowny face.
That happens to me too, man. I hate that.
"So please, don't go away." And then there's a smiley face. Oh, thanks, Tamika. "I think the content is excellent, the presentation is fun and interesting, and you guys are also pretty funny."
Thanks. We've been
Thank
trying. I went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Which does not hurt, Tamika says.
We knew that you were really Annie.
Yeah. I do have red hair.
All around, I am very much enjoying the podcast and learning at the same time. So excited to become a regular listener and see what you all have planned next. Thank you, from Tamika Meadows. So thank you, Tamika. And Tamika actually has a website. I visited quickly, so I just to let you know it's out there if you want to check it out. iloveaba.com.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Good stuff.
you can see Tamika has some materials there you can check out. But it was a very nice email, and so a website you can check out as well. All right. So Diana and Jackie, one of you needs to go first.
I'll go first.
Jackie's going to go first. So,
Okay.
Jackie, you have... I'm going to do it just like in the research article. So, in the research article, since you haven't read it yet, Jackie has 5 minutes to share her speech on what makes a good movie. And she has to go either for 3 minutes, and then she can kind of end, or 5 minutes total. So, I'm going to give you... I'll give you 4 minutes, and then I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll give you a 1 minute warning when you're down. If Jackie does not do it, I will have to look at her and say, "Please continue."
This may happen. This was very difficult for me. I have very few points, and I found it hard. So
What
I'm
if
going
we
to try
make
hard.
it a little shorter?
It's okay. Yeah.
Need it to be the whole 5?
Well, you can end after 3 minutes.
Okay.
You go. I'll just say, please continue on there. You
Okay.
at home, your mission is to count how many times within whatever length of time it is. I'll tell you how much it is. How many times does Jackie use a filler expression like or use like when it's inappropriate, or click her tongue, which I don't think she'll do at all.
I might do it just for fun.
Just for fun, she might do it, just to throw y'all off. Okay? So you're listening for that, and Jackie, go.
So, I do not watch a lot of movies, and I am not a great movie watcher overall, but if I had to pick a movie and all of my favorite parts of movies, the one thing that I would make sure is that the movie is not too long, because sometimes when movies are too long, I get bored and fall asleep. So, I like my movies to be around 2 hours. Sometimes about an hour and a half would be ideal. That's why I really like kid shows, because they're like 45 minutes and it keeps my attention, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done. So the first point is that the movie is not too long. Schindler's List is like 5 hours long or something, right? It's so long. I fell asleep a bit of time watching that, so I would love it if it was not too long. The second part of movie characteristics that I look for is that there is good background, meaning there's pretty things to look at, nice trees, good scenery. It's not crappy. I just made sure that I did not swear right there. So I'm always looking for some good background to look at. Yes, the third thing I'm looking for is if I have an identification with the main character. So most of the time, I don't like movies where I can't relate to main characters. So that's one thing I look for. My favorite movie of all time is Anne of Green Gables, the Sullivan production from the BBC or the CBC, and I identify largely with Anne Shirley in the main character in the movie, and so that's one of my favorite movies, and I think that's why is because I can identify with her. So I like movies that I can identify in some way with the main character, either their personality, maybe their views. It doesn't have to be like 100% identification, but the shooter movies I really cannot identify with, and I don't like watching because I'm like, why are you shooting that person? You could have just hugged it out. So that's something that I don't like watching. So I need identification. I also like it when there is some sort of problem, and at the end, they've found a solution. So there'll be a problem, I'm like, oh, that's a problem. I wonder how they're going to solve it. I hate movies that leave the problem, and at the end, you're like, what? What is the solution? I like a solution at the end. I like it all wrapped up in a bow, handed off to someone. I don't like things that are like, oh, we'll see in part 2. I hate that. So I like problems and solutions. There also has to be a plot to the movie. I think that's pretty basic for most people. I'm okay if it surprises me. I just saw The Secret Life of Pets, and I thought that the plot was going to be about the dogs and cats at their house, but they went on an adventure outside of their house. It shocked me in the movie theater, I'm not going to lie. I was like, where are they going? Go back to the house. But in the end, after I reflected on the movie, because it's a kid movie, so you have to reflect on kids' movies, I did like that. So I like a plot. And usually I'm a sucker for romantic comedies. So I like it if there is some love and some comedy. A little mixture of both. Those are my favorite. I'm a classic rom-com lady. If I can get some crying in there, that's always good. Good soother for the soul. So yeah, so my wrap-up of all the things that I need in a movie is love, plot, comedy, good background, identification with the main character, it can't be too long, and there must be some sort of problem with a resolved solution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jackie. So, Jackie, you spoke for, oh God, I gotta do math, 3 minutes and 51 seconds.
Wow. I am
Pretty
impressed
good.
with myself
Very
because
good.
this was very challenging for me.
You did good.
Yep.
Thanks.
So, Jackie, 3 minutes, 51 seconds. So, how many times did you go, or like when it was not appropriate? That's the big question. All right, Diana, it is your turn.
Okay.
What makes a good movie? Go.
Okay, so what I did was really list out what I felt like were the different main components of a movie, any movie. And to me, each of these components needs to be of the higher quality end in order for it to be a good movie. So it's not that important to me necessarily, the genre. I think there can be good movies within any genre. But these are the pillars of a good movie. So the first one was similar to what you said, which was plot. I think that that's pretty important. You can have a movie that meanders somewhat, but there should be something happening in the movie, to me.
Why else are you watching it?
Shh. Sorry, speech.
Okay, so beginning, middle, and end. It can be a madcap caper, that's okay, but there should be, but please don't let money exchange hands. I should have listed that. That's off the table for me, because then I have no clue what has happened in the movie. So I don't like those kind, but that's just me. Anyway, a good plot is important. The next thing I listed was acting. I really need people to be good actors, at least as far as I can discern, because if they're bad actors, then I have a it distracts from whatever is supposed to be happening in the movie, and I can't handle it. Next up, I put directing, because I'm pretty sure that is an important pillar in a movie. I don't 100% know what you do as a director. I think you tell people where to stand. And then if you don't like the way that they were acting, you tell them cut and you have them do it again, right? You help infuse the character into the actor, right? Like your vision as the actor and your vision as the director, they have to meet somewhere. So that's the role of the director, is to help the actors toward your vision of what the plot should look like. So that is an important piece. Clearly there are some good directors out there and they consistently make good movies. So that seems important. The next one I said was sort of the overall look and feel of the movie. So you're really hoping that a movie can take you to a certain time, place, or, you know, bring in some type of nostalgia for you or create a sense of space and time. So if a movie can do that, then that instantly to me makes it a higher quality film. So I think that's really important. Of course, script writing and dialogue is, you can't be a good actor if you don't have good dialogue. So that's very important. Let me see. Plot, acting, directing, the look of the movie, dialogue, and the next pillar I put was editing or sound, because I know that that's a category in the, what's that called? Grammys? No. Oscars? So I thought that's probably a pillar of a good movie, but again, you can tell if a movie's badly edited because it's like super choppy and you don't know what the transitions mean. Mm-hmm. So you can tell when that's been done poorly. And then I don't really think that special effects are that important in a movie. If they're done badly, then that definitely just detracts from the movie. But like over-the-top special effects are like kind of fun to listen to and see, but they don't make a good movie in my mind. I think that I've learned a lot about movies, and I'm by no means an expert, but because I've watched some really bad movies, I think that ends up teaching you quite a lot about what a good movie should look like. So Rob has had us watch The Room, and more recently, I think it was called Birds. Is that what it's called? Can you just tell me?
Birdemic.
And it was atrocious. Both of those are really like the worst possible movies that can be made, and they have all of these things wrong with them. So by seeing something that is truly awful, then you realize, oh wow, all the other movies I'm watching do create a sense of place. They do have good writing, they do have good acting, they do have good editing, and this is an example of terrible, all of those things. So it makes a huge difference. And then finally, I think that a good movie is going to push the genre that it's in. Again, a good movie could be in any genre, but it's not going to just recreate a...
Oh, sorry, you have 30 seconds left. I forgot to say that.
Okay, thank you. Recreate a previous movie. It's going to push it a little bit and sort of stretch the boundaries of what that genre is. And if all of those things come together, then I think you can have a really good movie.
All right.
The end.
What I love is that as Diana was talking, I was thinking to myself, wow, I think I watch really bad movies. Like, all of these, I'm like, and I love really bad TV show too. So all of those things are horrible, and most of the things that I like, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
I don't know where Jackie went. I don't know.
Guys, I just left. I'm back now.
There she is.
This has slowly been like creeping on.
Okay. Cool.
How do we do? Who won?
I think you won.
We all won. Those are great speeches.
Oh, thanks.
Diana,
The audience won.
You spoke for 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right.
So that is your rate. So, audience at home, your job is to, for both Diana and for Jackie, or either one, is to count how many times did they say or some variation of or how many times did they say like inappropriately. So, not I like this movie, or this movie was like water torture, which would be a simile, just putting like in there. So it's like when it's like, those aren't great. All right, so you have to count how many, and you're going to calculate the rate. So how many times did they say any of those phrases in their amount of time? So
is it going to be rate per minute?
40. So you're going to come up with rate per minute. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to do a little division there. If you send frequency, that would be nice too. I don't know if anyone will want to do this because a lot of people listen in their car, so this may be too hard. But if you are a brave soul and would like to email us those results at abainsidetrack@gmail.com, the first person to send them that is accurate in their count, because I have to go count this when I edit now, will get credit towards a free CE. So if you are up for the challenge, go for it. We'd love to get that response. And then if nobody emails, we don't care, because then we get $6 if you want to see. What are you gonna say? Right.
Well, you're gonna calculate it yourself, I guess.
Then you know what? I get a free CE. So for my own show.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I think so.
But then one of us can just win.
Right.
As the master of public speaking.
Yes, that's right. I'll get you a gift certificate or something.
It's neck and neck.
A gift certificate to
we
candy.
We both clearly know a lot.
I'll get a candy bar. Candy bar to the winner. So, you know what? If you don't want them to have a candy bar,
I want to win so bad.
Now I want a candy bar.
You know what? You guys can have a candy bar.
Okay, good.
No matter what. And it'll be 2 different candy bars. Just a better one and a crummier candy bar.
That's great. I love that. I'll take the crummier one.
Like a mallow bar?
Yeah, I love it.
Ugh, that sounds terrible.
Turns out I love all things crummy. Movies, TVs. Candy bars, it's fine. I'm subpar in my interest.
Oh.
No, it's just whatever you like.
You're the top to us. You're like Zeus atop Mount Olympus in your lightning bolt glory.
I don't know this.
It's Greek mythology.
I know. I don't learn that.
All right. And Jackie, how long was yours? I forgot to say it was 3 minutes.
3 minutes and something
51 seconds.
3 minutes, 51 seconds. Okay, so 3 minutes, 51 seconds. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, folks, that's it for our preview episode. You know we're doing a grab bag of 3 random articles on, well, we know public speaking is one of them, and then bark collars and yoga for children with developmental disabilities. If you are in the Beverly, Massachusetts area, or will be attending the Endicott College Conference for Ethics, I will be there. I don't think anyone else is able to make it, unfortunately, but I will be there, probably in the back, sleeping. No, what? No, not sleeping. Probably in the back, just being antisocial, which is my favorite thing to do at conferences if Dinah or Jackie are not there to remind people
to talk to you. Hey, can you go talk to Rob? He's in the back.
He seems so lonely back there. So if you are there and you've seen this video so you know what I look like, or you hear somebody say, I think that's Robert Barry Cruz, please come up and say hi. And I like the podcast.
That's Robert Barry Cruz. Oh my gosh.
I like the podcast, or I hate the podcast.
Right, we like both.
Throw something at me. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you both for being here.
You too.
And for everyone at home, thanks for listening. And until then, keep responding. Bye.
Good night. Bye.